nice navy blue suit that kind of looked very good. And I'm excited to chat to him about what he does. All right, is there a challenge with your mic? I think you're going to have to.
Challenge with the mic?
I can hear that mic. That one is a bit of a problem. Yeah, I think maybe if we can put it in between so that we
share.
can. Yes.
Myself and Isaac will share.
Yes,
Sharing
please.
is caring.
Sharing is
You see.
caring. Thank
And
you
let me
very
introduce,
much.
we'll start from this side of the table since
Yes.
we've now commandeered the mic.
Okay.
On my left, I have Isaac Mulindwa from Vamos Travel Africa.
Yes.
And on my right, I have Giovanni, who is the General Manager Africa for TAAG Airlines.
Wow.
So we're all Africa encompassed
Yes.
today, including us.
Yeah.
You're Uncle Zach, I'm Geniene Preston, and you with Beyond the Itinerary. Because what is itineraries? Itineraries is about travel.
Yes, it is.
And we focus on Africa. And I think focusing on Africa gives us an opportunity to promote this amazing continent of ours. Because all too often we always say, we're off to the States or we're off to Europe. But actually we should be off to somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
Look at this Mozambican gentleman. I mean, Sergio, just once we started talking about Mozambique, you couldn't stop him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you could see he was used to talking the serious stuff.
Yeah.
Until we came along with Pau and cassava and the great food and the Lorenzo Marx memories. He has the same memories we have.
Yeah.
And they're all good, which is great.
Absolutely.
So yeah, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we want to learn a little bit more about, let's start with TAAG.
Yes.
So Giovanni, you have to tell us, where did TAAG start? Where does the journey begin?
Well, it's an airline that got an history, and it's of course it's an Angolan, very proud airline, and the journey has been long, 80 years, and a lot of things are happening. In the last few years, the government has decided to invest. Airline is like, it's just creating business. It's creating income in business. It's not just people traveling, as you said, overseas, whatever, but there's a lot of people coming to the country. You want to develop the country, you need an airline. Take the example of Qatar Airways and Emirates. What they did in the last 20 years.
True.
You build the airline, you build business. If you don't get this, we got some issues. And in the last few years, TAAG has decided, the government, of course, with the backup of the government, has decided, okay, let's do something about it. It's not an easy process. It's not something that happened from today to tomorrow. There is a lot of investments to do, and it takes years. It's like, to give you an example of buying an aircraft, it seems like, you want to buy a car, you go to the dealership and you buy a car.
Yes.
And you get it. Oh, it's there, or in a month, in a week, whatever, unless it's not the latest model, you wait maybe 6 months. With an aircraft, you order it today, you're going to get it in 3 years. Sometimes in 4.
Wow,
My
I didn't
goodness.
realize that.
And
thought it was a little
sometimes,
quicker.
of course, depends on the model. Sometimes it's quicker. It could be in a year and a half, 2 years. And then it's not just you buy a plane out of the shelf and it's done. No, there is you get the aircraft, you need to do the interiors. It's all different companies. You even to choose the engines, and it's so complicated. And you plan today for the next 15, 20 years.
Jeez.
This is how an aircraft can fly, even more. Depends how much maintenance you do. Is your choice. And how convenient it is, because technology evolved and your engine, it's like cars. Many years ago, a car would use so much fuel.
Yes.
Fuel efficiency equal to 0. Nowadays, we're all very cautious, and new cars, you can drive so much more with the same amount of fuel. Aircraft is the same thing. You choose your strategy, you buy the aircraft. Small, medium, big, and whatever you do, then you pay the consequences.
Yeah.
If you do the right choice or the wrong choice. TAAG has invested in, is a mix of a fleet, medium, within Africa. We just recently purchased the Airbus 220. It's a beautiful aircraft, and we already received 3. We bought 15. So slowly they will come in, but it takes, the whole process is going to take probably another 2 years. And then we purchased long haul, the 787, the Dreamliner. And again, it's a 2-year process. And but we ordered them 2 years ago. And we received one. We're going to get another one soon. And next year, some more. So it's complicated. It's a very complicated industry.
And how does, just from a technical perspective...
Oh, don't be too technical.
If you have to order an aircraft 3 years in advance, how far in advance do you plan how many aircraft you buy? Like, what is the decision that you make that says we need 1 or 2 more aircraft? What are the things you need to know on how many aircraft to order?
You need to do a lot of homeworks.
Okay.
Really a lot of homeworks. It's based on your business plan. With the new aircraft, not necessarily you increasing your fleet, but you're also replacing your old aircraft. So this is exactly, for example, also we have some 777 that we decided to sell and dismissed. So we're going to replace them with the 787, the new one. But then there is your 2-3 years plan of where you're expecting to start flying to.
So new routes, new destinations.
And there's a lot of it's a complicated, business plan of how much money you expect, because also how much money you expect to make. Your route has to make money and profit, otherwise you just stop flying.
Wow, that's really, and it obviously is driven by tourism as well, because if its hub is Angola, it's how many people are coming in versus how many people are going out.
It's all about, it's always a mix. Out of Johannesburg or Cape Town, let's talk about South Africa, we have 10 flights a week from Cape Town and 9 flights per week out of Johannesburg. Of course, we're aiming to get double daily. That's the whole idea. And it's always a mix of traffic, of people. Of course, there's a lot of incoming from Brazil, for example, from Luanda, and from Portugal. A lot of outgoing. Again, within Africa, this is where I'm trying to push the company to make sure that in Luanda they're connecting to whatever destination we fly in Africa. Because there is, in my opinion, there is a desperate needs of connectivity. Air travel within Africa is a problem.
Really?
Yeah, it used to only fly up and down.
Today you want to fly to, you pick a destination, Entebbe. Really, you can go with the Ethiopian. You got a couple of options. Maybe it's not even flying every day. So it's really complicated. So this is where we're expanding within Africa with new destination. We open in Nairobi in September, and then we're trying to focus on Angola. Angola is trying to promote itself as a touristic destination. So out of all the passengers that are flying out of South Africa, we expect people to stop there for business, for leisure, and other people, of course, will continue their journey to the final destination. Again, it's as I said before, the right word is complicated. There's so many actors, so many people that needs all together have a plan. The airline, the country. Now we're launching. It's already open a new airport in Luanda.
Brand new
airport. Brand new airport. It's already been operating for the last year for domestic. So, just to make sure that everything works well. And by the 1st of October, all operation. So all even our flights out of Johannesburg will land at the new airport.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful airport. Really.
Wow.
Beautiful.
In where? In Luanda?
In Luanda. Luanda's the main capital and the hub of TAAG Airlines is Luanda. Because when you fly to Portugal or you fly out, you go via Luanda.
All flights, of course.
Is this owned by TAAG or is it
it's
a
owned
country?
by the government.
Okay. Because I was
Called
wondering.
TAAG Angola Airlines.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then how long have you been the GM?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Since
And you aren't speaking Swahili yet?
I'm struggling.
No, just generally throughout Africa, there's kind of a common language like Swahili.
I'm already struggling with English. It's not my first language, so let's not. No, but Spanish. I'm pretty good with Spanish.
It's close.
Languages, you get to a certain age, it becomes very difficult.
Yeah.
Your memory is full. So,
You were telling us earlier offline that you are Italian.
I am.
How did you end up in Africa, especially beautiful country.
in South Africa for an
In South
Angolan,
Africa, yeah.
Angola Airlines. Well, actually, my first posting
Okay.
when I was 26, 27, I for the first airline I worked for was Alitalia, the Italian airline, and my first posting was in South Africa.
Oh.
Funny enough.
And you fell in love with it and married a South African.
And yeah, I got here with one suitcase, and I
What?
left with a wife and a container full of shoes and bags. And so then I worked for Alitalia, I worked with Qatar Airways, and I worked with Emirates as well. I've been moving around. You name a country and a continent, I was there. So from Japan to Argentina, Canada, Russia, the UK, now I'm forgetting, in Doha, in Qatar, and then again, it's a small. The airline industry is very small. We all know each other.
Okay.
So sometimes you receive a call. I need you. Can you come? And I need someone in South Africa looking after Africa for Angola. It's a new project, a new idea. And I liked the idea. I said, yeah, coming. A month, I was already here.
It's amazing. And you know, TAAG is so unique in that it flies to places one normally had to go a number of stops to get to. So, for instance, Sao Tome and Principe.
Okay.
That was the most unique. There's unique things about all airlines, and TAAG Angola Airlines does that. They fly to Sao Tome and Principe, which is a tiny little island off the Horn of Africa.
Oh.
Normally before, you had to kind of fly to Mali or Burkina Faso, somewhere out there, catch a road transport, maybe catch a ferry. Kind of 3 days later, you'd get to your destination. Thanks to TAAG, we're able to fly to Sao Tome and Principe, and you're able to fly to places like Cuba. So it's not having. Remember, we spoke to Venezuela last week.
Yes.
And to get to Caracas, you had to fly from Joburg to Sao Paulo, from Sao Paulo to them.
Oh yes.
So there was a 2 airline because it's code share. It's what they call code share. With TAAG Airlines, they try and go as direct as possible to the places you want to go.
Oh.
So like from Luanda, you can fly direct to Lisbon. So you don't have to go via the UK to get to Lisbon. You can fly direct.
Wow. How competitive is the industry? I mean, we've seen our own South African Airways took a bit of a dive, but now apparently it's coming back up again.
South African Airlines is the Band-Aid.
Yeah. Oops. How difficult is it to compete in the airline business?
It's very competitive. It's extremely competitive. And then, of course, it's not always the same. Depends on the routes, destination, how you positioned. But it's extremely competitive. If you if you ever been on the internet on some apps that show you all the flights, like Flight Radar, I don't want to do any advertisement, but it's free. There you can check how many aircraft are flying right now. You can see that we're talking about thousands. And it's just, you're not alone. You need to compete with service, with price, of course. Is again, people, I think that the first thing they look at is how much it's going to cost me for myself and for my family to travel from point A to point B. So you need to be competitive, and the experience has to be as much, decent as possible. Because again, nowadays everybody's struggling. We're getting back to pre-COVID.
Wow.
More or less
Numbers.
volumes and revenue. But the industry took a dive for the last 4 or 5 years. And finally we're getting better, and it's even growing. So airlines are competing to each other. We're competing on every route. We got someone. In some cases, we're the only one. So, we can play the game differently and try to maximize our profit, like any business would do that.
And I think you'll also find that TAAG Angola Airlines has been they also are very sympathetic to some causes. And recently there was a case in the news where some young students went over to Spain and their coach bought only one-way tickets. And we don't know why. Not their coach, the tour operator that managed their trip bought one-way tickets.
What?
Yeah, and they were stranded. They literally were stranded. And thanks to TAAG, they came to the rescue and helped them with really low fares to be able to, because the parents who sent these children are not wealthy parents. They are parents from low income areas. And they managed to raise a bit more money and raise money through Facebook. And there was a whole campaign which TAAG stepped in and said, okay, we will take whatever you raise. Or I wasn't in the room, so I'm not sure what but I just read in the news. And I just thought, wow, that is so humane to do that, to step in and say, what can we do to help get these children home? We're not just a big corporate that doesn't care. We actually care about these kids, because I think they were, wasn't it in Spain or Portugal? Where was the...
Well, the whole story apparently of the kids actually went to Spain.
Oh, was it Spain?
Was
yeah,
in
then I
Madrid.
was right. It was Spain.
With 25 kids, I think,
Yeah.
roughly. 28 with the adults,
Yeah.
with supervisors. And then, again, I don't know the story of why they traveled with one-way ticket, but somehow
But somehow it just
they were
happened.
there
Yeah,
with
we weren't there.
one-way ticket. So I think was time to go back. They realized there was no ticket. So again, I don't know how they end up in Lisbon. So the organizer maybe sent them to Lisbon. And I remember I was, watching the news or reading the paper, talking about looking at these kids. I said, and I was thinking, how is it possible that they are stranded one way? I said, okay. And I thought, well, if were my kids stranded somewhere, I would really be concerned. But that was it.
Yeah.
I thought that the story would never even touch me, honestly.
Yeah.
and then, funny enough, the day after, we got a call from, remind me, it was Sao Dias from DB Travel, and because someone in the community was trying to find a solution, so they called us, and Susanna, that is the sales manager, immediately got involved, and we had a chat. What can we do? We got these, let's say, 30 kids, 25 kids stuck in Lisbon, and it's high season, so flights are full.
Yeah, they're at capacity.
We
'cause it's summer.
we flying twice a day with a wide-body aircraft out of Lisbon, and still flights were full. So we made a plan. So we divided, I think, the group in the whole crowd in 3 different groups. We found 15 seats there, 12 there, 8 there, and we made sure that each one of them had a supervisor, of course, traveling with them. And I think within one day we fixed everything, and we just got the seats.
How cool
Keep
is
them
that?
as, the best price as possible, and honest, between Susanna and also my colleagues in head office, that were extremely helpful because they confirmed the seats straight away, not following the rules, let's say, and we made it. It was not a...
Because at the end of the day, even
That's beautiful,
airlines are
man.
humans.
Yeah.
We all have children and families
Absolutely.
and children's, listen to my English. But doesn't it just show you that sometimes things can be done when... And that's where social media really starts to work. Because the cry went out on social media, can anyone help us? You know, we're now stuck in a situation not of our own making, just because they trusted somebody else. You know, and they stepped in and the kids got home. The kids are now all safely home, if I'm not
I think
mistaken.
the last group was on Saturday, on Sunday, in Cape Town.
They all arrived.
Is this recent?
Yeah, it was like
Well,
recent,
everything
as of this
started a week ago.
What?
It
A
was
week ago.
A week
That's
ago.
incredible.
And the children were from the Cape Flats that went to play
Yeah.
a soccer tournament in Spain. And the parents spent, I don't know, every waking moment raising money. Like 50,000 Rand we're talking about here. We're not talking about a minimum amount of money. 50,000 Rand to take these children. Each child cost 50 grand to take over.
That's crazy. I wanted to just check on, unless you want to jump in.
No, it's for me. It's one of the things I'm impressed with. Is actually TAAG's destinations of points of contact within Africa, because Africa is one of those destinations that, as you said earlier on, within the connectivity within Africa is very, very poor. And if TAAG is going out to reach out all these, Nairobi is a new one, probably Kinshasa is already existing, Future, Uganda, whatever it is. I think it's the growth for Africa itself. I mean, one of the other points you made was about where you fly alone. We had also a problem where we could fly sometimes. Uganda Airlines had no flights, and KQ was flying between Entebbe and Nairobi.
Yeah.
That flight was almost as expensive as going to Europe. So I think there's a lot of opportunities, and I'm very impressed with the number of planes that you have. That's also a good point. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No,
The issue of the fuel, the jet fuel, where do you get it, and do you get it in South Africa, or do you get it? How do you get it? How do you determine what do you buy? Because I know motorists are always crying here in South Africa.
Jet fuel is different.
Yeah.
But it's not very different. It's different companies, so it's like different gas station, virtual gas station at the airport, and we do contracts with different companies. That could be some are massive, huge, and they go. They are present in every airport, some they're not, and we do different contracts. And depends on the flight. Sometimes does it need to refuel to go back or not, and you just land and you have a contract with someone. They come and refuel quick.
Yeah.
But there is always a contract and a negotiation behind, and there is multiple actors. You just choose. Some cases could be only one.
And because Angola is the 23rd largest country in the world. I don't know if you knew that.
23rd.
23rd largest country in the
big,
world.
Eh?
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Size-wise is huge.
Wow.
But it also has a lot of regional airports. So unlike a lot of the countries in Africa where the regional airports is a challenge because they're still growing, it's like us developing our railway system.
Yeah.
It's the same as they've developed their regional airport system. And their regional airports are pretty cool because they reach most parts of Angola. Is that also a TAAG operation?
Yeah. We are very strong domestically. I mean, there's so many flights, as you said. Different. I mean, the country is like South Africa. It's huge. If you want to reach Cape Town, I mean, what do? By train? No. You're driving, you need to fly. So also in Angola, we're reaching all the different airports. They're also going through, new. They're trying to renovate the airport, make it more friendly, doing a lot of investments. Also because there is a lot of businesses. It could be oil and gas related, minerals and whatever that are keeping, of course, Angola economy strong. And we operate a lot of daily operation everywhere, as much as we can, because it's a big country and it's a big population as well.
What's the population?
Don't ask me that. I'm a lawyer. And, it's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll look it up.
What are the plans for TAAG going forward for more destinations in Africa?
Well, as I said before, Nairobi is
currently
first
open
flight
that,
is going to be the 1st of September.
Yeah.
And then we have a few plans to open other destinations. We got another 3-4 in the pipeline. And
in Africa or
in
outside?
Africa, we're talking just Africa. And we just planning again. Is a mix: aircraft availability, crew availability, and then we're gonna start. So, but it has to be a sustainable growth. There's nothing worse than just opening left and right, and then you're gonna find yourself in trouble, because opening a route is not easy. You can't expect fantastic results from the very beginning. You need a little bit of time to create also the market and create the demand that is there, but also a lot of people start flying to one destination because you have a flight. If you don't have a flight, don't even think about it. And the example of low-cost carriers in Europe, I think it's perfect. They fly the most funny O&D destination, origin and destination that you would never think of, and they just created the demand.
And where do you fly to currently? In Africa.
Right now, we're flying Maputo, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Windhoek, Kinshasa, Brazzaville, Sao Tome, Lagos, Nairobi is next, and all domestic, of course. I'm not naming them. There's a lot of domestic destinations. And then we fly to Lisbon, Sao Paulo, and Havana. That is more of a seasonal right now, but we're still flying there. And long haul, of course, we have some plans to open some other long haul destination, maybe in the Far East. Far East, we're looking at Far East and Europe.
Well, the good thing is we can go to Venezuela now
Okay.
because they fly to Sao
Sao
Paulo.
Paulo. Yes. Okay.
So there's a bonus for you.
There we go. So exciting.
Mr. Venezuela's going to smile.
Yeah. Yeah. Your staff complement, what are we looking at? I'm sure you're just growing by the numbers. Do you have a big staff in your airline?
Well, again, you grow according to your needs.
Organically.
Okay.
That's what it is. There is nothing, an airline industry, your margins like other industries, but especially the airline is very slim. So you really need to make your calculation right. And of course, staff like fuel is the biggest expenses.
Yes,
And so right now we are actually, there's a lot of recruiting going on, especially for crew. Is where I think all airlines are desperate for crew.
Do you still have a height restriction for air hostesses?
Oh, yes.
I'm not aware of it, but I'm sure
Because
that
in the days gone by,
But
you
I'm
had
sure
to be
there is.
5 foot. I think you had to
They
be
don't
5'8".
anymore. All these airlines don't, because you all see all sorts of heights.
I know, you see, because it's discrimination
Before-
otherwise.
Exactly.
But before, you had to be a certain height
but
to
at
be
least
able
he
to be
needs
in the-
whoever is going to be hired. They need to fit into the aircraft at least.
They can't be taller than the car.
Taller than the cabin, it would be quite challenging. Over the years. No.
Yeah.
And is your demand for first class and business class still higher than coach class?
Well, it depends what we're talking about, money or volumes. In terms of volumes, there is no
Volumes,
comparison because the number of seats that are located to business class compared to economy, it's a small number. But in terms of money, of course, every time you sell a business class ticket, it's a good day.
You get excited.
You get excited. And the demand is there. The load factor is very high. There is a lot of demand for business class.
I think that's amazing. And your loyalty program?
And we working on it. We have one, Umbi, and but we working on a revamp. We're doing a lot of things step by step. We just launched a brand new website.
Okay.
New technology, really cool. So we're adding step by step more and more functionality. But it's there, been live for the last couple of weeks. And business class, we revamped the business class, really nice on the new 787. It's a nice bed, very comfortable, a really good configuration. And business class is a major source of revenue, of course. You fill up your business class, you're happy.
You're happy, yeah, absolutely.
Wow. I saw your social media is quite active as well. I was looking at your TikTok and other platforms. I see a lot of involvement by your staff actually doing the actual ads, which I found quite interesting. I couldn't understand the language because it's Portuguese. Yeah. But very well done on that factor. How important is communication on your side?
Well, as I think it's key. If you don't communicate, you don't let your potential consumer know your brand. What do you do? Why are you there? Where are you flying? What are you selling? I think you're not going anywhere. And that's why the team, social media in Luanda is very active. Very young team, very nice people, and they really like what they do. And again, it's part of reviewing and making sure that TAAG is perceived differently from before. It's part of the ongoing process.
And I think with the growth of TAAG and the re-emergence, call it a re-emergence, because that's really what's happened, because TAAG have been around for a long time.
But you did say 80 years, eh?
Yeah.
Hopefully I got it right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, cut this part.
Okay.
But they're also trying to grow the visits to Angola. Because essentially with our history with Angola, it was always a friction between South Africa and Angola, but that's long since gone. It was in the 80s. Now we're looking at Angola differently, whereas people, when they used to stop in Luanda, they were too scared to leave the airport. It was kind of like, well, we've caught TAAG, but we'll just wait here before we move on, because what happens when we leave the airport? But it's actually such an emerging tourism destination that it's wonderful to visit, that you should actually consider when you're using TAAG is making TAAG your stopover for longer than 1 day. As far as I know, you don't need visas, or do you?
No, you don't visa.
You don't need a visa for a South African.
No.
So why not make it, especially with South Africans leaving the countries that they've immigrated to. TAAG is now very available for them to catch to come here. So why not stop over, spend a week in Angola, and then come home? Because by the time you reach Joburg or Cape Town, you have a round of visits of people to see, and you haven't really stopped and visited. So it's a really good destination to stop and visit and then continue your journey, especially now that there's more airports opening and more stopovers from TAAG, more destinations opening in Africa.
And sorry, allow me to add that actually Angola last year removed visa requirements for almost all countries around the world.
Really?
Before, even with my Italian passport, I had to get a visa to get into the country. They remove any restriction for more than 100 countries around the world. That was already last year. So when I get to Luanda, just show my passport and I go in.
It's one of those e-stands. They've now got the e-stands.
No, nothing.
Don't you have e-stands yet?
No. It's just there, show your passport, you
them.
get in.
Yes.
Yeah, and go, because you go
This is the next step.
But it's a very good thing for Africa, because you see, I can understand why over these years, all these centuries, Africans going into another African country is a problem.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's been one of the limitations. So Angola removing the requirement of a visa and more African countries doing the same, you are going to see a lot of growth, and you know, it's easy to travel because you don't have to think about, let me first get a visa, how much does it cost, where do I go to apply, where's the embassy? All this stuff is a complication for no reason. So kudos to Angola, you know, I think I like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So your biggest competitors, who are the ones that you look at and say, in the next 5 years, these are the people to beat?
Well, first we need to decide where we want to be in 5 years.
First.
So what is our vision, what we want to do, and et cetera, et cetera. And of course, then on top of it, as I said before, your competitor is mostly the one. It could be different airline, depends on the destination. So to Lisbon, out of Luanda, of course, TAP is our competitor. They also fly direct. We do fly direct, so we're competing. From South Africa, flying to Sao Paulo, we have direct flights since a year and a half ago, give and take, from LAN and South African Airways. So before it was just us. So we had to change our strategy. We were the fastest way to get to South America, to Sao Paulo, but we were by ourselves. Then they go in, and of course what we notice is, again, what I said before, you put more flights and the industry grows so much.
Competitors come.
Because there is more availability.
Even the demand on the route.
The demand went up. And we are actually, with the numbers, back to, we got a bit of we be hit badly at the beginning when they start flying directly. We lost a lot of passengers. But then slowly, the demand growth. And right now, I think we're making the same amount of passengers as before direct flights were introduced.
Wow.
Because you put flights, and you got the demand.
And it's pretty much like Booking.com. If you use Booking.com as an analogy.
Okay.
Booking.com brought in the ability for them to market to a wider audience, because everyone went to booking.com to do a booking. The same as Kayak and all of those, they drive the knowledge of new airlines. And so like when they open a new route, for instance, to Nairobi, all of those sites will begin to carry that airline. So people go, oh, I see TAAG now flying there. But instead of looking at those, if you like, booking sites, the airlines offer a similar fare. All you have to do is with new websites like they have, they run comparisons all the time.
Sure.
So they know what their yield factor needs to be. So they then offer a similar fare so that people don't have to go and do fare comparisons. Booking.com, you'll find a lot of the lodges, because they're losing revenue on those high booking percentages, they're actually offering customers the same price, thereby not having to pay those commissions. So even though there's less seats available at that price, at least now they know TAAG is going there. Let me go and have a look at TAAG. Let me see when they fly. Let me see what their pricing structure is. So it's a much better deal, and you can get onto their loyalty program, which means that the more you fly, the more likely you are to gather flying miles. I think they call it air miles or flying miles. You know, when you fly and you get a loyalty program.
On the airlines,
it's like an
different
so
programs,
you've different. They've got different names for them, but they're miles. You essentially gather miles.
You can redeem them and get free tickets. But then it's not always the price. Sometimes it's what kind of additional services you get.
Okay.
Might be the same price, but if you fly with TAAG to Sao Paulo, maybe you get 2 bags.
Yeah.
And maybe South African Airways, I'm just making an example, or land, you fly direct, fine, but it's only 1 bag. So price and depends on what you or the
and
customer
what services
needs
that you want,
you know, they're looking for.
And also the schedule. Schedule's a big
of course,
thing.
is a big part.
Yeah.
Is a big part of it. But depends who your target audience is. Is it leisure? Is it business? People in order to save money, would be happy to stay 8 hours at the airport and wait for the next flight. There is a lot of people, but they're saving a lot of money, so they're happy with that.
So just determining prices, I mean, that must be a nightmare coming up with a price, especially if there's no route and other planes going that way, because then you could look at their prices to come up with yours. But if you're the pioneer into a new area, I'm sure there's a lot of mistakes you make there with your pricing.
Well, your basic assumption is how much does it cost to operate that flight?
Okay.
Once you got that right, and it's not that simple, but once you get that right, you can start evaluating, okay, how much is the load factor? How many passengers do I expect to be on board of my flights operating to that destination? And it's a mathematical thing. And then there is so many software nowadays. All airlines have special software to do it. They make a lot of calculation and make your life much easier. And you said, on other routes, we just look on what other people are doing, and we decide, okay, we're going to go lower, or we're going to be more expensive. Depends on how competitive we are.
And you also have airport taxes. Airport taxes are not just for you to pay. They pay landing fees. So some airports are more like OR Tambo is hugely expensive, and so is Cape Town Airport. So when you decide to land there, there's the landing fees. Like we've got Lanseria. Lanseria Airport's fees are a lot lower, but the airport's a lot smaller, and they don't have such long runways. They may not have a long enough runway for an Airbus A380, for instance, whereas OR Tambo has. And if you look at when OR Tambo was built a million years ago, I think it was in the 70s, they didn't know that area was going to be built up for housing and urban development, because, I mean, where it sits right in the middle of a city.
True.
So there is nowhere else for them to go to build longer runways. They're going to have to kind of
move people,
remove some houses and highways. And
you do like we did in Luanda. The old airport is right downtown. You just have to say, okay, we're building a new airport, but we're going 30 kilometers out of the city.
Out of the city.
Where I got the space to create and build the brand new airport
They just build a new one.
That's it.
Wow.
That's why most
did that
big
with
airports, also in Europe, the big one, the most recent, are out of town.
It's much better.
Because of the evolution of airports as well, and how their people and countries have grown. When they first built those airports, they were actually far from the city.
Sure.
Just that the city has now grown and the population has increased. Eventually, it catches up with where the airport is, and the airport finds itself surrounded. And they don't realize, if you don't plan probably for the future years, they have a limited number of land, which looks like a lot of land at that point. In the 60s or the 50s, when most of these airports were set up, the land looked like they had a lot of land. The planes were smaller, the runways were short. Now, as the years went by, the planes became bigger, the runways required a longer, the passengers have increased. So moving out of where you were is the only option, 30 kilometers away, and you build a new one. So I'm not surprised that that's what you did. Because you don't shut down this one, but you just have to build another one somewhere.
Absolutely. And then the food on the plane, is it Mozambican influenced or how?
No, Angolan. You got the countries wrong.
Sorry, Angolan influenced or I wanted to say Portuguese and I said
They still speak Portuguese in Mozambique as well.
Yeah. So is it that kind of taste in terms of food, or like how do you choose your food? Because it's beef or chicken or like what do you
something
serve?
else? Not only beef or chicken.
Sky chefs.
Well, again, it's all again related to what companies are providing your catering services. Also, there is a very complicated. I know I had a chance to visit one of the big catering company here in Johannesburg, and it's amazing. If you never had a chance, please go and see how they do it. It's just amazing, the process.
Wow.
You just you see the tray that they give you, but behind it is it's so interesting to see how many people are actually working. How do they divide them per flight, per airline?
True.
And every airline has different requirements, different cutlery, different plates, and the menu get changed, and the options is incredible. So we're working on it as well. Is part of the process of course, getting more of a taste of Angola, of course.
And you obviously have, like in Uganda Airlines, they have wooden cutlery, because it's very much about sustainability, and a lot of the airlines are now going that route and moving away from plastic.
Oh,
absolutely.
So it allows them more sort of that it's biodegradable. So we don't add to the plastic pile. And TAAG are also going that route.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
So very well done on that.
Okay, so how do you describe you as a leader? How do you describe yourself as a... I know it's a bit of a difficult one.
Because it's a difficult one.
Okay, next question.
Next question. Where did you find these?
I don't know. They just come
He's
to
not
me.
here for an interview.
So am I getting a job? Okay,
let's see. Are you a tough leader? You are not authoritarian?
I'm very democratic.
Very democratic.
As long as you do what I say.
Exactly. I agree with that statement.
I love it.
No. I don't know. I always get confused with what is leadership or whatever. I mean, is at the end of the day, you work in your work environment. You got colleagues, and for me, the basic is. You need to lead people, inspire them, but we're all colleagues. We're all working together. It's not just somebody does something wrong, it's his fault, and fine. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. We just have to remember that we're working for a company that pays our salary, so we need to perform, and we need to make sure that the job is done properly. I'm here to work with everybody else in my team, like in head office. I am bringing my we're getting almost close to 30 years experience in the airline industry.
Wow.
So I've seen a lot of things, and I'm here to help and just make sure that whatever the company is asking is delivered, because that's the most important thing.
I think it's important for every airline.
For every business.
Yeah, for every business as well. So
Absolutely.
I think as TAAG Angola Airlines, in terms of your way forward for changing anything, I mean, you guys have had phenomenal growth in the last couple of years, because before, if you said TAAG Airlines, everybody kind of said, where did they fly from again? Now it's sort of they're one of the major airlines.
It's still a long way to go. It's a process, as I said before. It's going to take a while. So fleet awareness, marketing, communication, new airport, everything is happening together, but is going to take a few years. And new planes, and as you said, the growth is there. We're very happy with the performance in South Africa, but like in Mozambique, most African countries there are performing very well versus last year. So we just we need to keep going.
Just my last one. You did say that you fly from Cape Town and Durban, but do you fly locally from Durban to Cape Town, or just
Cape Town and Johannesburg?
Cape Town and Johannesburg.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not flying yet. You mean domestic?
Yes, domestic.
No, they don't
we're
fly
not
domestic.
allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not allowed to do that. Okay.
Another, of course, every country got its rules. Civil aviation, DOT. That, of course, as Africa, we see there is no open sky. Open sky like in Europe, in the US, where anybody can fly from anywhere. There's been an ongoing process for years talking about an open sky agreement, but still haven't been approved by all African countries. So for any airline flying to any country, you need a permit, an authorization, and you can't fly as many times as you like. You can't fly with any aircraft you like. You can't fly into any destination. It has to be approved by local authorities. So in South Africa, they approve every year. In Mozambique, same thing, and any country. So there is a lot of bureaucracy, unfortunately.
It's called AOC licensing. Because you are licensed, like airlines that are licensed to fly within South Africa, they have to have a South Africa license, domestic license, which, like the Golden Triangle, is Durban, Cape Town, Joburg. If they get that license, they like a for away. And then people like Airlink are allowed to fly to certain destinations in Africa. But again, it's a process of saying where they are allowed to fly. And certain airports can't take more traffic than they already have because of the length of their runways, and so there's quite a bit of there's obviously guys in South Africa, for instance, who fight to keep their license and not allow other airlines to come in because it's a competitive thing. So but it's a big story.
Absolutely. You've got about a minute, sir, just to convince our people why they should fly with you.
Wow, that's a tough question.
Yes,
Why?
I mean, I'm a tough
Well,
guy.
it depends on why they want to fly and where they want to go. I mean, all I can say is that TAAG has made, in the last 2 years, tremendous efforts to become a very reliable airline. We are on-time performance has improved dramatically, and we increase frequencies everywhere we could. We are very competitive from price perspective, I assure you. Anybody can check it online, as we talked about it before. And again, we still a long way to go, because there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, but I can only say that from the reaction and the numbers we actually making in most countries, but in South Africa, people are very pleased. I receive a lot of compliments and positive feedbacks, and that's important. Like with any airline, something can go wrong, even with airlines that are 5-star airlines can they lose their baggage, it can be delayed, flight can be cancelled. This is part of the industry, unfortunately. I mean, it's not perfect, and security and reliability is very important.
Reliability and being on time.
You know, even there, like your bag, it's on the airline shoulder, but it's not always
party.
us.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes
party.
you're delayed because there is an ATC issue, a traffic controller issue. There might be a bad weather somewhere, so all the traffic is being diverted another way, and because it's a virtual highway that you don't see, but the aircraft do, of course, they might say there's a traffic jam, you need to wait. In 30 minutes, and then you're going to be allowed to take off from Johannesburg because there's a lot of traffic over there. It's not that just aircraft are flying wherever they like. There are routes. And even the bags, you lose your bag and you blame the airline. But we don't manage the bags. It's an airport company that does. We don't take the bags. They do. They manage them. So, but we take full responsibility. That's another little thing that actually, it's a lot. It's a big cost to us, but it's not necessarily our fault.
My dear sir, it's been absolutely amazing. It's my first time I speak to a general manager of a company that deals with aeroplanes. So this was actually amazing.
It's an airline.
But I'm dealing with people.
He deals with Africa.
You're dealing with people.
That goes on an airplane.
Giovanni Simonini. I hope I said that right.
Yes.
It's been such a pleasure having you in the studio.
pleasure. Thank
TAAG Angola Airlines, General Manager for Africa. Just learning more about the airline industry, and we wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you.
And hope to see you in many, many more airports. And Isaac Mulindwa, Vamos Travel Africa, thank you for joining us. It'd be so nice to talk to you next time about TAAG arriving in Entebbe.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it.
Uncle Zach, see you next week.
We're back next week,
And
my
we're
friend.
back next week. It's Women's Week, so we are talking to one lady who was the first diesel mechanic for underground machines, underground mining machinery, and another lady who is in charge of women in agriculture.
We're looking forward to that.
See you next week.
Thank you very much. This has been Beyond the Itinerary. And of course, I'm so excited to have been here today. And we're back again next week. Thank you so much to all our guests. I hope you enjoyed it. We're back again next week. We're out. Peace.
Thank you.